We are those who are responsible for bringing issues to council. The Great Spirit will hear everything I'm about to tell you. The destruction of all mankind may begin with our continent, because the covenants of our ancestors have been broken. The prophecy of the Ganyak states there will come a time when people will lose respect for the earth and for each other. Rivers and skies will be polluted. Bloody wars, crises, hunger, and pandemics will afflict the people of the earth. Snakes will appear and cause new destruction. Dragons with red eyes will spew their filth on the already suffering planet. The troubles that have befallen the earth will intensify and grow. The only unity and unwavering dedication of all people can withstand the beast that is destroying our lives and our planet. You and I are living in these times. This beast called the climate Cerberus is now sucking the water out of our rivers, burning our lands, shaking them, and destroying our homes. My voice is seldom.
Greetings, greetings. All praises unto our Creator, our Most High, our Supreme Being. Hallelujah, Father. Pray all of you are well on this great, beautiful, wonderful, marvelous, fantastic, amazing day. So I actually came across this video, and a lot what this young man is saying is what I believe as it will all unfold, that things will occur. And it also points to the Bible, and it points to different prophecies. And the happy, I want to say, a Hopi prophecy that are given, I could truly say that, it aligns with what we understand, within the Bible and so forth. So, and I must make this statement: the Bible has a lot of truth, which points us to understand our past, our present, and our future, and the history of our people, as the earth came into form, and how we are aligned with that in itself. So as he's speaking about a unity among all, and he's going to say this in the video, pretty much close to the end, perhaps, when he speaks of the indigenous people to come to the forefront and be a part of what this is, how the earth is, changing, in the sense of how there will be destruction that will come on the earth, and how people can come in and do it. He said also that in so many ways, our people fell from grace, and in this, we could actually make a difference by uniting and being, at that united front in the lineup of truth and understanding. But when I hear one speak of these things, I don't hear them bring forth about the spiritual awakening that is happening through the earth. And the main ones that are speaking of it is the dark Eumelanin people. Throughout the earth, you have ones in Africa waking up, ones in different places, Canada, UK, America, South America, and so forth, waking up to understand that there's a shift that is coming. And in this shift, the ones who have been placed at the bottom of what one, if you would call a pyramid, coming to understand that we always knew to some degree that we are human, human, and we have feelings and so forth, and we want the best for all mankind. But a lot of people who, what you would appear at the top of the pyramid, show that they could care less, and still showing that they can care less in so many ways. So when we connect with the Bible in this awakening to know that the Bible is the history of the dark Eumelanin people, which is only, circle around this group of people called the Israelites, but it's literally speaking of the dark Eumelanin people across the earth. When we see that, we know that it tells us about our past, our present, and our future. It tells us and point to how we fell from grace by serving other gods. It tells us how we will be redeemed because we would be given over to another, and they will come and they would enslave, and they will do all these things. But a lot of times when ones who call and say that they're indigenous, or they're the aboriginals, or they're the natives to the lands throughout the earth, the continents, and so forth, these people who in this time, now Africa shows to be basically the same. Out of the 54 countries, it's a great chance about 4 or 5 that they have lightened in their genome and so forth, and there are more of them than you see. And I might be stretching it. It could be probably 2 or 3, but anyway, get my point. And when you look through the earth, the genome has gotten lighter or white and so forth. So a lot of the ones that are what you would call indigenous, through the DNA, through the genome, these people are looked upon as like invisible. They're negated by the ones who are light, near white, or white. And so when I hear him speak about all what he says will occur, he's not talking about like trying to come to a place, because what I have gathered and understand is that we will revisit the past in order for us to move into the future. And revisiting the past is understanding that we as dark Eumelanin people, we were cut off from our heritage, our legacy, our truth, and in that they knew who to cut who off and how to cut it off. And so we will have to come to this place to understand our truth. There's no moving forward. I mean, all the catastrophes that has occurred on this earth and still occurring are, point to the future to occur. It's still, we still haven't came to our full truth. We still haven't came to our full truth. So there are ones who are light, white, and in line with that genome, they still are complicit in so many ways. They're saying it doesn't matter. Even when I hear, which I don't believe in the storyline of Jesus Christ any longer, and even if you paint him white or black, but even when I hear, people say, as white folks say, I don't care if Jesus is white, but they put that in the comment to sidestep their feelings and show who they really are, because, they're not coming in a way like genuine, like, well, I'm just glad to be in the number, I'm this and that. No, and when I say glad to be in the number, they're not coming from a place like sincere. They're coming for it like it's a dig, like they are like who cares if he's black? Well, to understand what we as the dark Eumelanin people that, which are called black, why we want to put the emphasis on that, because that's starting from truth, even in that lie surrounding Jesus Christ, but it goes back to the originals, to the earth. You can point to the storyline about Jesus Christ, which I know that's fictitious and is a lie in that lineup, but the same lineup of our genome, our genetics, or us being black, is being overlooked, is being negated. And for them to, what you would consider Jesus Christ in so many ways a superhero, right? By many, he's our savior, he's this, he's that. There are people who have been painted the picture towards him that he was white. And so they now, many ones coming and saying, I don't care. But the way how they say it, the way they note it, the way how they put, like a little jokey around it or whatever, you can tell that they're bothered. Because how dare anybody come forth and say, this earth was nothing but black people and white, their genome came much later. That's going to have them to come to a place to understand about their true self. How does this happen? So what ones have done, even this young man who's speaking here, who you could tell that he would fit the narrative of a Native American or indigenous or aboriginal, he would fit that narrative. Where is the portion or the part of who on that panel represent the dark Eumelanin people? No one. And I don't feel that when I say the love, when I see one speaking of it, they have to have seen on the internet, because what you would call the Israelite community, or you would call the woke or awakened people, have blew up the internet with our truth of understanding that we were spiritually divine awakened, to know our past, to know our presence, and to know our future. So this young man and everyone on his panel and whatnot, trust me, they have seen this, but they don't want to touch on those topics. They want to just say, well, let's unite. How can we unite when we have not even ones who have been denied of their rights on this earth by many factors? How can we unite and you haven't even went back to square one or A? No. We weren't awakened to just say move forward. If that's the case, why will we go back and try to come to understand who we are? That should tell you that we must visit or revisit our past, our lineup, so we can know what this is. And not only us as dark Eumelanin people, the whole earth need to revisit the past so ones can come up to understanding. So, I just find it very interesting. I'm going to share the link of this video. And like I said, things that he's saying is the where we headed. But how can we get there without going backwards and then moving forwards? It's typical that they want us to start wherever they say they started at and move forward, even in this day and time. Oh, don't look back at the past. What does that matter? It matters because it wiped out a whole history of our legacy and our truth of understanding this whole lineup. You understand? And we must revisit it. So whoever is thinking that is not important, I strongly suggest that you sit somewhere and get some understanding why it is important. And if you want to deny the truth because you don't want to go back into a lineup, because then your lies or your walls or your floors or your ceiling will come crumbling down, that's the same, no different than what we have done in this awakening. It was very profound yesterday. For the first time I've seen where someone who's dear to my heart came forth and started talking about the rocket that Elon Musk, I don't know how many days back, that it went up into the sky and then it hit the firmament. It blew up, right? And it's like that was a moment where it clicked and say, they're saying as she looked into it that there's a firmament. And it's like if a light bulb came on, for her to say, well, for that to be, is, in so many ways, there's a God, there's an Almighty, there's a Supreme Being. It aligns with the Bible. So she started looking further. So, every now and then she would reach out and say, oh my goodness. I mean, why would they lie and say they went to the moon and all this, that, and the other, so you know, she started looking at the lineup of NASA. She started looking up at the lineup of all these different ones who lied, and even this where they went to one of the space persons, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but someone went up to him and asked, if you all actually land on the moon, touch this Bible. And that astronaut said, you know, like out of a sly way, how can I trust and know that this is a real Bible or whatever, you know, just to offset. But it's quite evident that they have lied, you know, because they tried to go through. America lied so much until Russia they were on a race to get to the moon first, so they say. So then Russia attempted to do exactly what America say that they was going to do, or they did, and want to say 2 or 3 rockets blew up because it hit the firmament. Now there was somebody had did like a test just to do it. I truly believe the Most High allowed them to do it, where a rocket went up and it hit the firmament, but it didn't blow up, and they measured the miles, and they said it was like 75 miles. So you imagine you driving from where you at, and you point to someplace, you know, through Google Maps or whatever, and says 75 miles. That's how high it took for them to get up to the firmament. It was like 75 miles. So with that being said, the commercial planes and what you would call the military planes, the commercial planes can only fly about 7 miles, only 7 miles up. So if the firmament is 75 miles up before, you know, you hit the ceiling or the firmament, right? The actual commercial planes can only travel about 7 miles, 7 to 8 miles up, 7 to 8 miles up. And I think the military plane can go up to 12 miles up. That's a far reach from 75 miles up to hit the firmament. I used to talk about this early on when I first in my awakening. This was a part of my, you know, talk early on in my awakening, what I was led, the path I was led to go on. And to understand what this is, and if you get a chance, Pastor Omar, if you just put Pastor Omar into YouTube, go to his page, and he has a list of what he did about, I want to say 7 to 8, maybe 10 videos speaking about the lies and deceit and surrounding the firmament. And that, what he did, as far as in those videos, I'm telling you, it even brought me closer to our Creator. That even opened up a lot of areas of how one's lied and deceived us to have us to think, you know, different things. So again, we must know. We will revisit the past. There's no question about it. The conversations that one don't want to have, we will have these conversations. And because not only the dark Eumelanin people has to wake up to know their place and what that was as being chosen to be here first, and anyone that got lighter or white, they're as far as mutated from the original lineup, right? And what they did was just block the originals from understanding and knowing their true self and their legacy and all that, because then we will say checkmate. Time is up. All this right here is ours. What happened to our portion? You understand? But this consensus about pointing to Africa and saying, oh, Africa is where y'all came from, and that's where y'all must go back to get y'all blessings. That's a lie. Our people were across the whole entire earth. And it shows in no matter where a video shows on this earth, other than Africa and say South America, because they infiltrated too, to whatever degree. Puerto Rico infiltrated, Cuba infiltrated. You will see that geno where it's light near white or white there. You understand? So wherever you see in great abundance of that geno that has mutated, you will see not our people in that lineup. Of all the videos that they show of what they call Israel, right? Over all these years, I followed this person who will just walk around Israel and show all the beaches and show all downtown and show all these different things. And I want to say out of maybe 10 videos that I've seen, I probably only seen 3 people, and he will show hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people as he walking, because they don't show them. It's like they don't tell them you can't come, probably not, but they get this feeling, well, we're not even going in those areas. You understand? We over here in this corner right here, and this is where you go, like when our people went over to Israel to visit, and they will go, and I'm not talking about the one where they have set up this lineup. I'm not talking about that one where they went over there in the 1960s. I'm talking about ones of our people that are original to that land. You go when they will go over there, and fam, all you will see, even the ones who have migrated there, who Israel will say, oh, you can come at is the right to return, the Ethiopian Jews and so forth, that and that, all of them all in one area. You go and it's just all one area. But then you got whatever, when this person doing these videos, he's just walking and all you see is nothing but them. But the goal is to show that we don't exist, that we are null and void, that we are negated. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. So if anybody have a question, you can listen to this young man, which I believe is the direction that he speaks on a lot of great things. The point when he brings up about the snakes coming or here or whatever, there was a awakened vision I was taken into where it was like remind you of the Grand Canyon, or remind you of like Utah, or one of those places where just the red clay dirt, and these were like mountains and whatnot, and this which I would call looked like a snake head was like pointing out and then went back in when I got to the grounds, and I was able to look all the way around. And there is this place in America where it's like a cave, and this whole reptile is like, you could tell it was a snake, like it got whatever it's called, I know what it's called, where it all like fortified or something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, if it take it for love it. And it's like any moment you can just say blink and the thing will come alive and start moving. That's the way you could tell it's a reptile. So I don't know why that was lined up for me to understand and see. There was a video that I saw from Australia, and they said that the rainbows is how their God go through to travel the earth. This is what was said. And they pointed at a snake. That's what they said. That how it travels through the rainbow. Okay? That same night, that's when I had I was dreaming, but within the dream I had an awakened vision, and I was walking outside, and I was lifted off of the ground. There were other people out there, but I, the one, was lifted off of the ground as I was going up into the sky. You understand? As I was lifted, I was excited because I said, oh, Father's going to take me up and show me what's going to become or what's going to happen of this earth. Like I've heard many people say they're taking up in, in their dream state or whatever, or in their vision state, and they're shown the earth, like the catastrophes of this happened and that happened. And I said, oh, I'm about to see what's going to happen. Nah, When I went up, I went through the Milky Way galaxy. I have never seen the Milky Way galaxy with my own naked eyes. In that vision, I saw the Milky, I went through it and I felt the warmth from the stars, and I just, as I went up, but I was never led to look up like this to see if I was going into what you would call a spacecraft or to a building. Never. I was just so excited and just so elated, and I felt the anointing that was upon me. So then the next is shift, and as it shift, now I'm in this room, a high-tech room that was semi-dark. It was light at the front, but around the walls had like little gadgets and lights all over it. Then it had like gave me the feel like a training room feel, but I was the one at the front of it, but I felt there were presence behind me or to the side of me, but I wasn't led to look this way or that way, or no, I was looking straight. So as I'm there now in this room, right to the right side in this corner, like a plexiglass or plastic, glass from the ceiling to the floor is there, and behind it is these beings moving all around, but none of them were. Well, let me back up. It was so many of them I could not count, and none of them were lashing at me, and it wasn't like I was scared. I was there to observe and to see what that was, to see it. Okay, fam. And then all of a sudden, now I'm waking up. I'm on my bed, right? I'm waking up. But to take you back a bit, my daughter had came into my bedroom, just, check in on me, because my bedroom was downstairs down this long hall, and she was upstairs, right? So she just came to open the door, and she just, I guess, to check in on me. And when she did, I was laying this way, and then I just moved over that way. As soon as I was laid on that way, I was taken into that waking vision. It's like if I went back to sleep that quick, but it was like a waking vision. It was really different early on when I started understanding what this is. And so when I came back to myself, what I would understand, like I woke up and I sat on the edge of the bed, and as I'm getting up, I'm like, Father, why you show me that? Why you show me all of them like beings, family? They had no color. It was like, well, I would say it was more like a white color. It wasn't like white people or anything. It was like a see-through. It was a color. Let me explain. Okay, it was beings, right? And I could tell because they had eyes and whatnot, but they were all moving around in it, like if you would see like a snake. That's what I saw, right? Now this is that day when I read when I saw a video, either I read it or something about Australia. The god that they believe in is like a serpent. So I was intrigued by it. So I'm thinking, Father showing me this because Father want me, because I got so intrigued by it. Like, it was more so like Father was, scolding me or trying to, that's what I felt like. Oh, Father, let me know, daughter, no, that is not what that is. So anyway, so then as I woke up and I got up off the bed and I was like, Father, what is that? Well, why are you showing me that? Of all the people who went, and you hear so many people, they went to this place. I mean, it went up, and Father showed them the earth and showed them this and showed them. I'm like, Father, why? So as I got out of the bed and went down the hallway, down to the foot of the stairwell of my daughter from upstairs, I yelled up there. I said, were you just in my room? You just came to my door? She said, yes. And family, it wasn't even 5 minutes. All that had happened like in 5 minutes. Or maybe less. But she had opened my door, and I turned from one side to the other. And as soon as I turned, I went into that waking vision. All right. So I'm trying to think if shortly after that this would happen, or either it was already occurring. By this time, I already had the manifestation of the dry bones on my floor, I want to say. By this time, I already recognized the illuminated spots in my yard of different shapes and symbols, and you will look up above it and you will see nothing. And how I know that what this is, and to a degree, because Sister Gina, if you all Coven, whatever, if you watch her videos, she had someone had sent her a video of illuminated spot on her like steps, porch, and then Sister Gina saw one in her yard. But family, I was seeing it like throughout my day about maybe anywhere from 8 to 15 different shapes, and it started appearing when this illuminated spot of 2 different legs was a set of legs, 2 different set of legs, where I could see as the sun shine, it would illuminate on my floor of my kitchen. So when Sister Gina had shared her video, I said, oh, I did see a light spot in my yard. I said, wow. I said, so I went outside to look for it, and there it was. And you can put your feet in it and then shine, you know, go across your feet. And then you look up, you don't see nowhere where these light spots, but there were many different shapes, sizes all over my yard, front yard, backyard, and so forth like that. One time I even walked down the road to see if other people had it in their yard, and they didn't. Everything was like leading towards my yard, towards my house, like I was covered. So anyway, so one day I did show, I had my cousin on one of those, where we did a video chat, and I flipped the phone over to show her on the, first I showed her on the ground. I said, see this light spot? And then she said, oh yeah, I see it. And then I said, see, I flipped the phone up to say, see, you don't see anything there. But family, there was something there. And it was what I saw in my waking vision behind those walls. I mean, behind that plexiglass or that glass, because it was barricade. They couldn't come out of it. You know, it wasn't behind like a prison, but it was a glass that was like, they couldn't come out of it because it had them, like, I want to say caged in. So she said, I see it. I seen it too. Yes, ma'am. But knowing what I had known about our Creator, and knowing Father would let nothing come around me, if it's nothing, if I'm supposed to learn something or understand something, and it was nothing evil or wicked about the illumination that was in my house and different symbols or shapes that will show up on my walls and different than that, none of that, I wasn't fair. It was there for like 5 months, you know, but only when the sun would reach a certain elevation in the sky. It would not show up. You understand? If the sun was overshadowed, like say, what you would call, you know, where the sun would not, you know, shine directly, then you couldn't see it. But as soon as the light, as the sun reached a certain level in the sky, through my French doors, both French doors, was 2 French doors, there were legs that showed as high as their hip, and then it went beyond that, but I could not see beyond that because I could tell there was more to it. Now, if it was one leg, I would have immediately said that was a snake, but it wasn't. It was 2 legs down to the ankle. Okay. So I don't understand it all, fam. All I know, I'm a trust in our Creator for all things and everything. You understand? I'm going to trust. And even to this day, there are certain, you know, times I will see illuminated areas, and all I understand it to be is my covering, my angels and so forth around me. That's what I understand. And they're illuminated. They'll be in my house, and even the apartment where I live now, even out on the sidewalks, as I walk out, I see. So none of these phases are scare me. You understand? I just believe and trust in the Most High just this much. You know, now if anything pop up in front of me that I never seen before, now of course you can be like, what? But I believe, you know, Father has just been gentle, and just where I have easily been brought to a place to get comfortable with certain things. And everything just ain't happen like bam, stuff like that. So I'm just sharing, fam. But check out this video and understand where he's coming from, which makes sense. But they must, not only they, but all this earth will revisit what actually happened to the true originals to this earth, and why we were denied of understanding who we truly are, and where is this headed. All praises to the Most High. Matando and Geta.